Good morning. As Dave indicated, I'm Phil Spears, the head of the middle school, and I'm proud to be in my 20th consecutive year of working with middle school boys. A couple years ago, I was at my 20th high school reunion, and an old classmate I hadn't seen in the intervening 2 decades sidled up next to me. A classmate named Eric, and Eric said, "So Phil, what have you been doing for the last 20 years?" And I said, "Eric, I've been working with middle school boys." And Eric, who had always been known to say whatever came to his mind right away, said, "Why would you do that?" So I get that joke all the time from folks when I tell them what I do, but I love telling Eric, and I'm glad to tell you why I love working with middle school boys, and I think I have the best job in the world. If you're like my friend Eric, you may have spent your adult years trying to forget your middle school years, and it may be very hard for you to imagine your 4 or 5-year-old as a pre-adolescent boy, but the fall of 2020 is coming soon enough, and so it's appropriate for me to have a chance to brag to you for a few minutes about our middle school program. We know the stereotypes. You know them well. You've lived them. The middle school years can be a time of insecurity, of anxiety. They can be very hormonal. They can be awkward. They can be challenging for boys and their parents, but they're also a time of great growth. And they can be a lot of fun and a time of tremendous beauty as well. And so after 6 years of terrific lower school prep, we like to welcome middle school boys across the street to Wilton Hall, to the middle school, to a middle school faculty that averages over 15 years of experience, and almost all of that experience is working with middle school boys. We love the age. And why do we love middle school boys? We love it because of their energy, because they're exciting. They're all over the place. We like variety, diversity, inconsistency. A picture, of course, is worth 1,000 words, and I think I have one that captures middle school quite well. So, you have a 6th grade boy on the left, and you have an 8th grade boy on the right. Okay? And that is the wide spectrum that is middle school, but of course the physical does not tell all, and we sometimes naturally assume as the grown-ups that the boy on the right is ahead in all phases and all ways. But that may not be true. The boy on the left may be ahead in some ways. It's just that it looks like the boy on the right is way ahead in everything. And so the beauty of middle school is being able to try to reach every boy across that wide spectrum of development. We also love working with middle school boys because it is a time of explosive growth. Other than the years 0 to 3, which you've just experienced, middle school has the greatest time of growth in terms of their learning to personal responsibility and learning how to collaborate and be a member of a team at a higher level. Abstract thought being born. The middle school years is where that happens. I've got a quick example of that explosive growth for you as well. So a couple weeks ago I was in a 6th grade math class, and I copied this math problem down. From 6th grade math in the fall, they were doing least common denominator. I want to see which parent has the guts to answer that question. Least common denominator from those two fractions. Anyone? Bueller. Who said it? Oh, a teacher. A teacher said A+ for the head of St. Catherine's School. Yes, 40. So that's fall, a problem from the fall. Least common denominator for that. So in one of our algebra classes, just 2 years later in the 8th grade, what might a problem look like in class? That. And so I'm a former English and Spanish teacher. I can do the least common denominator. All I can tell you about that problem is it's muy difícil. And that problem wore Peyton out. I like to show that picture. Peyton is now one of our star math students in the upper school, and he's actually helping lead a tour this morning. So I still like to show that picture. But that just gives you an example from those two fractions to algebra during the 8th grade year of the kind of development we're talking about at the middle school level. Now, how do we set middle school boys up for success? Well, of course, we do that first by being single-sex, by mission, so we can set up a boy-friendly curriculum and program for them during the pre-adolescent years. We also do it by schedule. We like to set the middle school boys up this way: 2 classes and a break and a chance to eat a snack. 2 classes and a break and a chance to eat lunch. 2 classes and then go to athletics. That's the way we try to keep them moving. We like to move them in and outside the classroom. I know I'm working with the right age group because I can't stand behind a lectern and speak. We like to use games and competition to set them up for success. If you want to see a middle school boy zoned in on his learning, you want to attend one of our middle school science classes the day before a test, and as they do their review, they play trash ball. That's become the legendary test review day in science. And what that means is if they get the answer right they get to shoot trash across the room, and middle school boys will zone in on their science learning if they get to do that. We like to use humor, of course. We need to help middle school boys be able to laugh appropriately at themselves, with each other, at their teachers, with us. I try to help with that by telling a bad joke of the day every day to them. At the end of our chapel or assembly services, I'll give you a classic middle school bad joke of the day. What do you call a fake tortellini? An impasta. We also like to set middle school boys up for success by using the arts. All middle school boys have to do basic music history and theory. They participate in woodworking and visual arts. Basements all over Richmond are littered with the required self-portrait that all middle school boys do. Notice the size and scope of that. The large self-portrait is boy-friendly. We also have our optional performance music groups as well. And then we like to set them up for success by helping them use technology effectively as a tool. We know middle school boys like to use technology as a toy, but we want it to be a means to an end, not an end unto itself, so that the technology helps them be better critical thinkers and problem solvers. And that can be in class with presentations or projects, or with our cyber middle school newspaper, our Lego robotics team, or our middle school radio station class. They're using technology all the time, but not all the time every day in every class, just consistently. Lastly, and most importantly, we try to set middle school boys and all boys here at St. Christopher's up for success via the relationships that they build and make. On our right is our 8th grade Spanish trip to Costa Rica, service trip, which is kind of a capstone trip at the end of the 8th grade year that allows boys to go and live in a village for a week as well as see some of Costa Rica. On the right are our international visitors. This fall marks the 4th consecutive time that we've welcomed in international students to live with host families here in Richmond and attend classes with us in the middle school at St. Chris. And those guys kind of become rock stars for the 6 to 8 weeks that they're with us. The boys really enjoy another culture coming to them as well. The most important relationships for us, of course, though, are the daily teacher-student relationships. I think there's an ethos that pervades all we do in the middle school and at St. Chris JK-12, and that ethos really is kind of bound up in a statement that our most veteran math teacher states all the time in the middle school, and he likes to say constantly, I teach boys first, math second. I teach boys first and my subject second. I think that, again, is the philosophy that you'll find for your boys here across the spectrum, JK-12, and my wife and I are thrilled by the whole boy development that our 2 sons here in the lower school are getting each and every day. All that stuff Dave just told you is true. Lauren and I would tell you. So the fall of 2020 is coming soon enough. Remember to laugh with your middle school boys and at yourselves when you get there. And I'll close with another middle school classic. Why did the toilet paper roll down the hill? To get to the bottom. Next is our upper school head, Mr. Tony Simondera.